What up? What's going on, fam? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Excuse me. Welcome to another episode of Million Dollar Coach Mondays. I'm your host with my co-host, Lexi. I'm Ryan. If you're new to this community, welcome. I know there's a bunch of new people coming over from the TikTok. All right, so it's a special shout out for all the people that come over from TikTok, because I know y'all don't like Facebook that much, but I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, happy Monday. Hope you're doing great. Every single Monday, we're live right here at noon Eastern to basically break down what's working for us, what's worked as we still build a coaching business. As you guys know, we run an agency for coaches and experts, but we still run a coaching business. And so we love to share what's working with us, what's working for our clients, in order to help you, build and scale your coaching business. So if you're new, let us know that you're new. Let us know what type of coaching business you have. Also, be sure to drop your intro post inside of the Facebook group, because you never know who you may meet. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always about like, hey, how can I get clients? How can I get clients? Like, a lot of times, a collaboration could mean the world to your business. You never know who you may meet just by dropping your intro post and letting people know who you are. All right. So today's episode, we're going to be diving into the ILCU Client Blitz. Okay, it's one of our new programs that we decided to release. And the ILCU Client Blitz is all about sharing the exact steps to help you get to a place where you've got 1 to 5 clients coming in. Okay, here's the deal, and you may be asking like, why would you give? It already sounds like it's a ton of value. What's up, Chandrea? What up? Good to see you. One, we know that when we take on clients in our business development program, it's always better if you're in action, one, and you're producing something that we can scale. Okay, we love taking on anybody that's passionate about building a coaching business, but it's always better to just make sure that you're getting some type of result that we can build upon. Okay, so we want to make sure that if you ever decide to become a client of ours, whether an agency client or a business development client, the best thing that you could possibly do, and that sets us up for success for you, is that you're already like on the track of where we want you to be on. Does that make sense? Does that kind of make sense, Lexi?
Yeah, it makes sense. You got to be taking action towards where you want to go, so then we can help you improve that action.
And it's better, honestly, to take the right action that we know works. And so we'd rather you like be in our space, in our circle, taking the action that we know is proven to work, versus you taking action, which is great. But if you're taking an action that we know that we're going to have to go clean stuff up and like go fix a bunch of stuff, like that's not good either, because it just wastes a bunch of time. All right. So we're going to dive into this today. I want you to know, if you want access to the ILCU Client Blitz, as of the shooting of this video, we're doing it free for the first like 50 people. That's it. Okay. So comment the word Blitz. It is a step-by-step action plan of an organic strategy to nail down your your next 1 to 5 clients. Okay. So I'm going to break it down, share, comment the word Blitz if you want access to it. Again, we're only giving access for the first 50 people. They're going to get it free. And we're going to dive in. Okay. So let me know just really quick, what type of coaching business do you have, and what's your goal? Okay. What's your goal? I know a lot of people, they want to make, $5 grand. They want to make 10 grand a month. Maybe your goal is to make 30 grand a month. Maybe your goal is to launch your business. Maybe you just want to get out there and just start taking on clients and get your footing, right? Maybe you're out there trying to make your first 100 grand a month. Okay. When I was shooting for our first $100,000 a month as a coach, I was coming off of our business literally going plummet to zero. And having to drive Uber. Okay, like no hate on anybody that's driving Uber out there. At the time, you know, Uber was the last of my. It was the last thing on my mind that I thought I was doing. So, you know, I went from a place where I was like, all right, like something's got to change, right? I went and took literally. Here's the breakdown. Okay, for anybody out there that's like that, if you're feeling like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Here's what happened. Okay, we were literally like back to ground zero. Wes had to go get a job. It was the worst thing in the world because I was just like, man, I'd worked so hard to put her in a place where she could quit her job for years, and then she's back at a job. And I'm like, damn, I gotta go drive Uber. All right. I'm like, damn, this is just it's hurting, right?
I just have to say real quick though, I had mad respect because by then you and I had already connected, and I'll never forget watching you post about driving an Uber. And I was just like, because it's real, you know, like there's a real struggle when it's sometimes coming to grow a business, and you're not alone in that. So I just had to throw that out there.
Appreciate that. You know, It was people, you got people throwing up in your car, pulling knives on you, trying to rob. I mean, it's crazy. But that time, because at the time we were doing like 20 grand a month. Okay. And then we had this membership site that was doing really, really well. Right. And so this is all going to tie back in. I promise it is. Okay. So we had this membership site that was doing like 20 grand a month. We took some advice from a friend, and that went down from like 20 grand all the way to zero. Okay. So Wes goes and gets a job. I had to go drive Uber, and we were still in a place where we had to make this thing work. Okay. So the story behind this client blitz is because so many people were asking, if you had to get a client today, if you had to go get X amount of clients by the end of 30 days, what would you do? Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever asked yourself that question where you're like, all right, if I put my damn head down and I go to work, and I like, what would I have to do in the next 14 to 30 days to get this shit done, right? If you've ever asked yourself that, that's why we created the ILCU client blitz, okay? Because we want you to know that like this is how it's done. Now, here's what happened, okay? I got to a place where one, I hired a coach. I did not have the money to hire this coach, okay? He was going to cost $5 grand. He was a friend of mine. And so what he did was he said, dude, give me 2,500 now, 2,500 later. And I'm telling you, I barely had the 2,500. It was like, go drive some more, don't sleep. You know what I mean? And like try to drive around where the strip clubs are so I can try to get some extra tips or something. You know what I mean? Like that was my thought. So that's what I went and hired the coach, right? And what he did is he told me one thing. He said, you need an offer that if you sold it one time, it would make your entire month. And I was like, all right, bet. What would that number be? Okay. So here's what I'm asking you. What is your number for that? What is your number that if you sold this offer to someone one time, that it would make your month? Okay. And for me at the time, my answer was $5,000. Okay. And I want you to understand that I started to set a new goal for myself because we were making 20 grand a month. And I was like, man, I never want to get to a place where I'm making 20 grand a month and all of a sudden I'm back to like, you know, my bank account, back to zero, right? So I had to set a new goal for myself. And so I said, all right, what if I set the goal at making 100K a month? So I had to get into a new belief system, okay? And I say that because there's people on here right now that like you don't believe that you can make 100 grand in a month. And that's the first step is like to create a new belief that you can do this, okay? Because it's not hard. I had to start doing the math to say, okay, like how can I do this, okay? So if you really struggle with your belief around being able to make 100 grand a month, then you have to do the math because, and I want you to repeat this, but math creates belief, okay? So again, repeat this in the comments, all right, if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, because there's energy around it, all right? Math creates belief, okay? So if I knew that I had to create a new belief, I just had to start doing the math like 2, 3, 4 times a day as soon as I woke up in the morning. If I'm just sitting around, like if I was waiting on a ride, I'm like doing the math on my phone or writing it out. I'm getting in this emotional state that this is where I need to be locked in at. So if I know that I wanted to make 100 grand and I needed to sell a product at $5,000, okay, then I knew that I was going to need to sell 20 of those, okay? The hard part for me was coming up with an offer that I felt worthy that people would buy at $5,000, okay? Now here's what I did. I ended up getting on a call with a person that I deemed as an ideal client, okay? Now this is inside of the client blitz, okay? If you go through the client blitz, I break this down in detail, but I ended up getting on a call. His name is not Stan, but I'm going to call him Stan. And he told me all of his problems. He was an ideal client, okay? I literally said, hey man, I'm working on this new offer. I really feel like you could help me put the finishing touches together. Would you be open to that? I'm just doing some market research. He said yes. So I hopped on a call. He told me all his problems, and I literally came up with an offer for this guy. When I wrote down all the things he needed, I was like, man, that's worth $60,000. So then I said, all right, I'm going to go to my list and I'm going to put this in front of it. I've got this thing. It's worth $60,000, but for the next 5 people, I'm going to do it for $5,000. And guess what? I had 5 people buy. So I literally went from Uber to putting $25,000 in my pocket because I fixed the offer. Okay?
And if I remember right, like this is how close I was paying attention to you then. There was a post of you buying your guys' dream car, right?
It was,
you're like,
right?
I was driving Uber yesterday and now I was able to do this. It was like a
So right after that, we went and bought our dream truck. Now I wouldn't recommend like going out making a bunch of money then going and buying a car. It wasn't like, oh, like let's go buy a car. We actually needed to go buy that car. And honestly, I didn't even want to get a new car. Just like fiscally, I didn't want to get a new car because it's just not smart. But we needed we needed the captain's seat, and we could not find a truck with a captain's seat. We had to get rid of the truck that we had. So it was like perfect timing.
It was just monument, like as a part of your audience who is wanting to do what you were doing, to watch it switch that fast. It seemed like so fast, like, and then it was like that belief, like, oh, if he could do it, I can do it. And it's the same now here with everybody watching this.
So, guys, if you're in a place right now where you're like, man, like shit, like, I don't know, I don't see it changing. You know, there was a kid that was literally, I just happened to see this, okay? But there was a kid, he's in the NFL now. He just signed an NFL contract. 3 weeks ago, the kid was fucking homeless, okay? 3 weeks ago, this kid is homeless, sleeping in his car outside of the gym in Miami. And his friend told him that there was a Browns tryout near him. And he said, dude, you should go to this. It's invite only. But and I'm not a fan of this, but he lied and said he knew one of the player directors. They let him in and he wows them in the workout. And he ends up landing a contract. And then just like a couple days ago, returned a punt for a touchdown. So 3 weeks ago, he's homeless. Fast forward 3 weeks, he's scoring a touchdown in the NFL. I mean, come on, it's not always about business, but no matter where you're at right now, shit can change fast. But math creates belief. So let's hop back in real quick, all right? Because again, I want you to see how this works, okay? So again, if I know that I need my offer at $5,000, okay? I need 20 people to buy it from me. So basically, I know I need to get on calls, okay? And I know if I'm going to close, most people with a good offer can close at 20 to 30%. So if you can close it, let's just say half, 25%, 25% close rate. I'm going to close my calls. Now I know I need 80 calls, right? So if I know I need 80 calls and I got to hop on these 80 calls, and if I can just get on these 80 calls, I know I'm going to sell at 20 times 5,000. That's 100. And again, that's going to create belief. Here's what else creates belief. If I'm only working a calendar month has what, like 20 days, 20 work days in it. So I know that I need to I can do 4 calls a day. Now ask yourself, do I have the time to do 4 calls a day? If you don't, then just be honest with yourself. I can do 2. Okay, cool. Then set your goal at 2 calls a day, right? Just set your goal. Now I know that in order for me to book these 2 calls a day, I got to at least I knew that if I had 10 conversations, then I usually could get 2 calls, okay? So if I have 20 conversations, that can get me to 4 calls, right? So now I'm breaking down how many conversations do I need to have every single day in order to get these calls, okay? So I'm gonna look at, I need to have 160 conversations in a month, okay? Break that down by 30 and do the math, and you're saying, okay, like I know how many conversations I need to have every day, right? And typically, I need to post content that's going to create my conversations, okay? I need traffic. And that's the thing, okay? You ask yourself, when I had a job, I knew that I still followed the same formula when I had a job. And I knew that in order for me to create traffic, I knew I had to run ads, okay? Because I couldn't do this at my job. So I had to create something that was creating conversations while I was at my job, okay? If you can't afford ads, then again, you just got to make it happen. There's so many people that come to us and like, man, I'll do anything to get clients. But would you? I'll do anything. But would you stay up late? Would you get up early? Would you work on the weekend? You know what I mean? It's like I'll do anything but that. All right. So now, is this valuable so far? Is everybody getting value from this so far? Again, understanding the math, all right? So now, if I understand what we're going to dive into inside of the client blitz, okay, then it's going to make a world of difference, okay? So here's the breakdown. We want to show you how to one, get house clean, okay? The client blitz, we break down a full overview, okay? So this is what it looks like. When you get inside, you're going to have a full overview. We'll break down everything that you need to know, okay, in order to get clients. We are going to break down everything that comes from housekeeping, okay? Because most people, they'll say, oh, this is how you get clients, this is how you get clients, this is how you do this. But they're not going to break down like, hey, if your promise sucks, okay, your framework is not clear and your offer sucks and you don't know how to price your program, then you're not going to get a good amount of clients, okay? You can still get lucky because, again, our promise was okay back when we sold that $5,000 offer. The framework was okay. The offer was okay. And the pricing was in. So I'm going to preface this by telling you that this is never going to be perfect, okay? But the way that you make progress with this is by following the client blitz, okay? One of the things that you're going to recognize that you're going to come out of the client blitz is you're either going to walk away with clients or you're going to walk away understanding why you don't have clients. And that's sometimes just as important as being able to take on clients. But because when you understand why you don't have clients, what could you do the next 14 to 30 days? Make adjustments and then use the same process to go get clients. Does that make sense? I really need that one to make sense. I hope that one sunk in a little bit because I need that one to make sense.
It made sense to me because I think something that we see a lot too is that people want to be perfect in their action, and something that we really push here is that you want to have the right strategy, but you need imperfect action to evolve your messaging, your offer, everything. And so never discredit the evolving.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, think about your business as like 10 links or 10 chains that go together. And if all 10 chains are working, then that would equal a successful business, right? But if you're going through a program and you're like, oh man, I'm not making money, or I'm not doing this, or this isn't working for me, then you have to think like, all right, if success equals these 10 chains that are linked together, And me going through this program is developing and creating progress in one of those chains, then that's more important than the result. Like, develop the chains. You know what I mean? Like, people think that, like, oh, like, again, I think it's part of what we do as influencers sometimes is we make the story sound so good that you don't know, like, yo, I was doing 20 grand a month. You know what I mean? So if I hit zero today, I'd be right back at 100 grand a month like that. You know what I mean? Because I've this, right? I've got this. You can't take that away from me. But if that were 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, that's not the case, right? So understand that, like, every day you're putting in something that is, no matter, Armageddon could happen, and you're going to find a way. Successful people are going to find a way to be successful. Period. That's just how it works. Okay. So here's the breakdown of the client blitz. We're going to make sure that you have your system set up in 90 minutes or less. Okay. The most important part of this system, all right, is the sheer fact that you know how to get traffic. Okay. Create conversation. Get on calls and get clients. Okay. So instead of worrying about traffic right now, I need to know that this works. Okay. I need to know that you have a booking funnel that's set up the right way. And we'll actually show you how to set up your booking funnel inside. And if you set it up through our system, then we'll actually hook you up with our tech guy. He'll give you a free call to make sure it, like, really works the right way. Okay. Super, super simple. Okay. And if you don't want to do that, you can literally just book phone calls. That's all we need to do in order to collect money and start bringing on our next clients. Okay. We're going to show you how to use our POP formula to maneuver through any conversation, to move the conversation to a call, so you can then move these calls to client conversations. Okay. And then once you have clients, you need to know how to onboard. Okay. We want to make sure that you know how to do all the back end stuff. So guess what? When you're getting traffic up here, because a lot of us, and let me know if this makes sense, okay? But if you don't feel good about the back end around this area right here, okay, then you're going to subconsciously ruin this right here, and this right here, and this right here. Does that make sense? You'll find a way to self-sabotage it. You will, trust me. I mean, that's just the way it works. You won't believe it, and you'll be like, oh, no, I'm not a self-sabotager. It's so easy to see from the outside. So easy to see, right? You can see when your clients are self-sabotaging stuff, so we can see when you're self-sabotaging stuff, all right? So let's dive into what we're going to do. Breakdown of traffic, okay? We're going to show you how to write a specific kind of post that we call a magnetic transformation post, okay? We're going to show you how to write this very specific post. We're going to show you how to find 3 to 5 Facebook groups, okay? Because this is where your traffic is going to come from, okay? We're going to show you how to do this. You may think, oh man, I've seen this before. If you've seen this before and you're not getting clients, then you're doing it wrong, okay? Here's where our traffic comes from. We're going to find 3 to 5 Facebook groups, okay? We're going to call these our impact groups, okay? In these 3 to 5 groups, all you're going to do is you're going to put one post in this group every month, okay? So what happens is you're going to take one group 1 week, you're going to put this post in there. You're going to switch up the post a little bit, and then the next week, you're going to put it in a different group. Does that make sense? So you stagger the groups with this one post called the magnetic transformation post, okay? All the magnetic transformation post is a story post that's going to, 1, get you on the admin side in these groups, okay? And 2, it's going to create a magnetic feel for all these people in the group. Therefore, you're going to get a lot more friends. The other thing that we're going to show you how to do is delete a bunch of fucking friends. That way they're not clogging up your algorithm, all right? There's no point in having them there, okay? So what we want to do is we want to use these 3 to 5 groups on a once a week basis to stagger them to get us to a place where we're bringing in 10 to 50 new friends per day. Okay. The other thing that I want to show you how to do inside of the Client Blitz is there's influencers right now that are running ads every single day to your audience. Okay. You can easily find those ads because you're probably getting those ads too in your newsfeed. Okay. And you can friend request all the people that they are running paid traffic to. I mean, I know. It's like, oh my God, right? That's genius.
Like so simple. So simple.
It's so easy. And guess what? You can end up growing your audience by 10 to 50 new people a day. The other thing that you can do to create new conversations every single day, Facebook literally gives you a prompt for birthday messages. I will share with you my secret birthday video that I've been using for the last like 4 years that creates the most powerful, easy flowing conversations that you can easily turn into calls. Okay. So we're going to show you the top 3 ways to get 10 to 50 friend requests a day. Okay. From this post. And we're also going to show you how to, so we've got our traffic, we've got our content. We're going to show you how to post inside the groups, outside of the groups, so you can warm up your audience and move them to conversations and calls. Okay. Now, we're also going to show you how to use Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and TikTok video, short form video to enhance what happens to your content so you can increase the amount of conversations that you have. Okay. So this entire process is 14 days to basically clean up your profile. Okay. And like put steroids into your profile. So again, if you're using this the right way, you're going to end up with at least 300 to 1,000 new leads in the next 14 days. You're going to be posting the right content that's going to put you in front of them as an authority. Okay. And then all you have to do is use our transition script to move them from conversation to call. Now, again, here's the kicker that I want everyone to understand with this is most of us want this business that is automated, that people are just coming to us every single day with their credit card in hand, like literally like trying to like stick it through our phone or something like that. And like it doesn't make any sense, right? But here's the deal. The only way that type of business exists is for you to get your promise, get your framework, get your offer, and get your pricing right in a way that it's actually converting so you have cash, so you can spend the money on ads. So you can spend the money on things that create automation, but you got to know that it's converting first. So quit trying to skip steps in your business. I think we all get caught. Like, stop trying to skip the steps that are necessary in order to create the automated business that you want down the road. Okay. So again, my time is up. All right. Again, comment the word Blitz if you don't have access to the Client Blitz, because then we're going to show you how to get the traffic. We're going to show you what content you need to put in front of that traffic. We're going to show you how to transition it to conversation and how to take that conversation, move it to a call, and get people in front of your program immediately. Okay. And once you're bringing in clients, then you can have that conversation with our team to actually show you how to build out the coaching business in a scalable way. Okay, because if I'm being completely honest, and again, that's our policy here, is you don't want to rely on a strategy like this for the rest of your coaching career. Okay, you don't. It's just one of those things where if I'm being straight with you, we did this before we had our membership, and then we did this to get our membership up to $20,000 a month, and then we were coasting, and then it plummeted, right? And then guess what we tried to do? We tried to veer away from this because we felt like we were above it. And guess what it did? It kept us down, down, down. And when we finally hired that coach, we got our offer right, we went back to this strategy, did 25,000, 42,000, 74,000, and then finally got back to a place where we could really create more automation inside of our coaching business, more systems, and it started doing 100 a month, $190 a month. And so that's where I want to help you get. All right. So hopefully that was helpful to you. All right. If you, again, if you want access to the client blitz, just comment the word blitz and we'll get you access. All right, today. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, feel free to tag anybody or share anybody with it, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Remember, mark your calendar, Mondays, noon Eastern, $1 Million Coaching Mondays. And if you have any questions for us, please let us know. Lexi and I are open books. We're here to help you. We're here to make sure you're winning. All right. Y'all have a good day. All right. See ya.